What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me this morning while I get these 10,000 steps in. So, yesterday I did a video about why you need to save up $10,000, and you guys seem to respond pretty positively to that. And I've gotten a few direct messages about, well, how do you go about doing that fast or as fast as possible? So, I'll offer some tips on how to move that along a bit. I think that's a very fair question. So, number one, you're gonna have to cut expenses. Like, as many unnecessary expenses as possible, you're gonna have to cut out. You'd be surprised when you look at what you spend in a day or what you spend weekly. There's a lot of things that you buy that you could probably live without. Like junk food. You might go to the store and buy a lot of junk food, consuming junk food out of being bored, or just, a gluttonous activity. You can start with cutting back stuff like that. Less junk food, eat out less. If you're someone that has a bit of a shopping addiction, you kind of just like spend money because you're bored, because people do that. I mean, think about the pandemic. When people was getting those pandemic dollars, they for real was spending money out of being bored. Running across the street here. They for real was spending money out of being bored. We sitting up locked in the house, nowhere to go, and Amazon and Nike was killing it. Just sales left and right, sales hand over fist, people getting Amazon packages stacking up in their house full of stuff that they done bought, clothes that they bought, shoes that they've bought, bags that they've bought with nowhere to go. So people do shop out of boredom. So you have to kind of curb these habits of buying unnecessary stuff, because if you're buying some $400 or $500 bag, or you're spending $200 plus on some gym shoes, even more if you're buying them through like StockX and GOAT, getting them on these like aftermarket sites. Another loud truck, downtown Detroit, everybody. But you're spending more money than necessary, and if you're spending money on that sort of stuff, just think about it. That is money that easily can be banked and helping you towards reaching that goal of saving up that $10,000 as fast as possible. Start thinking, would I rather have this item or would I rather have the money? And that's where I started to get to. Like, I could get this right now and I'll be happy with it, but only for a little bit, because in a very short time, few days, I may start to have buyer's remorse. Like, why did I even get this? I didn't need this. It's cool and all, and I got this kind of high from buying it, but now I'm over it and I really don't want this all that much. So one thing you can do to kind of help control those urges is, when you see something and you want to buy it, hold off on getting it. Think about it a couple days. If you still want it 2-3 days later, then okay, maybe go ahead and get it. But in a lot of cases, by then you'll be over it, because it was just an impulse buy. It wasn't something that you needed, and in some cases it wasn't something you particularly wanted either. City bus, more noise. It wasn't something you particularly wanted either. You just were kind of spending because you were bored, or you were spending just out of habit, which is very dangerous. So ask yourself, do you want this stuff or do you want the money? Me, I started to get to the point where I'm like, I would rather see that money in my account than see it spent on a receipt. So these are ways that you can kind of help it along with saving that money as quickly as possible. Another way that you can go about saving it as quickly as possible is to simply work more. If you're working part-time, you're not doing enough. You're not going to get anywhere without grinding. You're not going to save up effectively if you're only working 15, 20 hours a week, 30 hours a week. You're not going to be able to get stuff done quickly even if you're working 40 hours a week. You got to put in extra time. If you want to get results that are better than the average person, then you have to do more than what the average person is doing. The average person don't even have $1,000 saved up in their bank account. So you ain't trying to be them. You trying to be above average. So got to do above average things. You're going to have to work more hours. I'd say minimum, if you really trying to put a dent out there, you need to be working 50 hours. So figure out what that looks like. Maybe 30 hours at the regular job and 20 hours on the side hustle, 40 at the regular job and 10 at the side hustle. Maybe 40 at the regular job and 20 at the side hustle. You know, that gives you 60 hours of grinding, but you are going to have to put that grind work in if you want results. You know, so working to get more money and cutting out extra unnecessary expenses. This is going to be the huge difference maker in getting to that $10,000 as quickly as you possibly can. You can do it. You know what you need to do it. You just got to do the work. So stop spending money and start saving money. And, you know, as I said, once you get this up, there's different vehicles you could put it in that are going to help you grow that money. But you can't do anything without first having the capital. You got to get the capital first before you can make anything happen. People like to say, when they see people with a bunch of money or doing well, oh, they were so lucky. Oh, they had this going for themselves. They had that going for themselves. You don't know that. You have no idea. Those same people who you're trying to downplay their accomplishments, their success, they may have had a worse starting point than you. We've all got the same 24 hours in a day. It's what you do with those 24 hours that makes the difference. So while you were out having fun and goofing off and doing things that weren't making you money, they were costing you money instead, they was keeping their head down and grinding. So you can't say, oh, they were lucky, they had this going, they had that going. We tend to make a lot of excuses and justifications for failing and underachieving. And you got to break out of that. The moment that you start accepting accountability for your lack of action, your lack of planning, your lack of financial discipline, the better off it's going to be for you. Because once you own those choices, even though they were bad ones, it's going to take you owning them in order for you to start doing better. So stop making excuses for underachieving. Stop trying to explain away why you're failing and just simply do better. No one is making you spend unnecessary money that you could be saving instead on this and that. Stop going to buy all that fast food. It's junk, it's overpriced, and it's keeping you poor. Stop going on Amazon and buying random stuff, putting stuff in your cart because you're bored. That too is keeping you poor. If you out here dating, spinning plates, and you ain't got at least 6 figures saved up, man, like you really working against yourself. Or as I always say, hustling backwards. If you don't have at least 100 G's banked up, you really aren't optimizing your time. That's going to be an unpopular opinion, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion only for those that don't want to accept that they screwing up. If you, where you're at right now, don't have $100,000 banked up, you are not done hustling. Not to say that you done hustling when you reach that, but you got some work to do. Get 100 G's saved up, and then you can kind of ease back a little bit. You're not going to have to hustle as hard because now you be in a position to where you can make some investments that money is going to make money for you. But if you ain't got at least 6 figures saved up, man, I'm sorry. You don't have any room to stop hustling. You have no room to quit the grind. So get to work on that. It starts with this $10,000 though. $100,000 is going to be a different video for a different time. But you got no business dating, spending money on these chicks, taking them out, all that sort of stuff. And you ain't even got $1,000 in your bank account and you doing that sort of stuff. Now that you heard me say that out loud, does that sound like a good investment of your time and your money? You don't have $1,000 saved up in your bank account, but you out here courting chicks. That's crazy, man. You know, I mean, really with the 10,000 saved up, I don't think you should be out here courting chicks either. But you at least got room for a date here and there because, you know, you got 5 figures saved up. So you at least got room to go out for a date here and there. You can't overdo it. You can't be out here trying to date like you a player with 10 G's. But you can have some fun. You can take, you know, you can take some sort of comforts and indulge in them, if you will. But you ain't even got $1,000. You need to cut that out. Even with $10,000, you still shouldn't be indulging in that too much. But the goal after the 10,000, the next goal is 100,000. And as I said, you need to be grinding as much as possible to get there, because between 10,000 and 100,000, it's going to require a lot of discipline, a lot of living below your means, a lot of being frugal for a while. And you just going to have to accept that that is a necessary thing in order to get where you're trying to get to financially. So the sooner you accept that and adopt these things that I'm telling you about, the better off you're going to be. So let's review. How do you save up that 10,000 as fast as possible? Cut unnecessary expenses. Stop buying fast food. Stop buying as many games as you may have been buying. You can't buy every game. You shouldn't even have the free time to play every game. So stop all that. You know, stop buying all this different expensive fashion stuff. You know, saving up paycheck after paycheck after paycheck so that you could buy some overpriced fashion item that you're going to wear a couple times and stop wearing it as much because you don't want to wear it out. You don't want people to say you wear it too much and all that. They don't care anyway. You know, stop all the fast food. Stop all the unnecessary dating, because you're not that guy yet. You know, out here trying to be a player and you broke. You're not that guy. You got to stop doing that stuff. And work more. Period. You got to work more. You're not making enough money. That's why you don't have $1,000 saved up. You're not making enough. If you're a younger guy in your 20s, man, if you don't get out here and get this money while you're young and strong, like you gotta take advantage of them 20s, man. And if you don't take advantage of them 20s, there's no excuse to let your 30s go past. You got to get out here and grind, man, while you're strong enough and healthy enough in order to do so. You know, so tell me what y'all think about that, man. Comments on this, likes on this, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm always give y'all that free game. If there's nobody else that's gonna kick it to y'all real about this, it's gonna be me. Y'all know I'm gonna tell y'all what's real, because I want to see as many of y'all succeed as I possibly can. So, you know, whatever. Maybe I found my purpose. I don't know. You guys, you tell me. You guys have been giving me all types of positive feedback, positive love. So maybe I have found my purpose in doing this, or not just my only purpose, but added to it. So that's what I should say instead. This is another purpose that's added on top of what I've already been doing. So yeah, leave me them comments, man. Like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.